Hello. How are you? I'm Dan Deacon, and I'm a Baltimore-based musician. I use repetition a lot in my work, and most of my music starts from loops. I'll make a 4 to 8 bar loop and just listen to it again and again and again and again and again and again until I start to try to hear it in as many different ways as possible. What I like about the Gonzalez-Torres beaded curtain is that it forces the viewer to interact with the work. You literally have to touch the artwork to get into the rest of the gallery. If you look at the beads as just, or the rows of beads, in their unmoving form, there's obviously this pattern. But it's the way that they move when people come through them, and that pattern shifts and changes and ultimately falls back into its original form. Seeing the beads settle reminds me of the way of, phasing sounds would occur in early minimalist composers' work. If you look at the same pattern, if you were to look at a Warhol piece, you notice those imperfections, and that's what makes those pieces interesting. Whereas 100 years prior to Warhol's work, the imperfections would have rendered them worthless. Whereas the time period in which he was doing them, the commentary on repetition was so important because we were engulfed in perfection. So I think now more than ever, it's interesting for new artists to go back and revisit the birth of these ideas and the birth of the focus of repetition. It's impossible to think how repetition isn't like the dominant factor in most people's lives these days. I feel like no one is like, I'd like tomorrow to be a day like no other. And if they had that every single day, I think that would be actual insanity. In the background, you've been listening to music of mine from my album America, and I hope you found it repetitious.